Two boom, boom, boom. 4 deafening explosions erupted in an instant. It was as if the space had been shattered. Sharp fist winds swept past, causing the surrounding air to rumble. The surface of the lake not far away also began to tremble. Giant trees swayed unsteadily. Li Yin's brows were tightly knitted as he looked at Xiao Yan, who was still standing there without moving. He suddenly threw his sleeve and his body swayed gently. He had already followed closely behind Xiao Yan. His body was as light as a piece of cotton, and his body was like a bolt of lightning. He spread his 10 fingers gently. A strange light flashed and appeared on the tip of his long finger. Bang! The moment the 4 fist winds came pressing down on him, Xiao Yan's brows suddenly raised. Immediately, his gaze sank, and he suddenly swung his fist. The crimson gold flame on it jumped, and under the cover of the Origin Monarch Chi, it whistled as it met the biting cold fist winds. Everyone could only see a blur in front of their eyes. A human figure had already been sent flying backwards. He repeatedly cried out in pain. In the next moment, a black-robed figure suddenly rose from the dust that filled the air. The instant it rose, a powerful light cut across the sky like a sharp blade, and ruthlessly struck the spot where Xiao Yan had been standing. The attack did not hit him. Li Yin's expression did not change. The tip of his foot lightly tapped on the ground as he stepped on the Origin Monarch Chi and soared into the sky. His sleeves were fluttering in the wind. A powerful aura that shook one's heart reverberated in the air. What? When they saw that Xiao Yan had sent their comrades flying without any injuries, the expressions of Li Yin's trusted aides changed. Their strength had reached the peak of monarch spirit, and they could be considered the backbone of the Kangri group. How could they know how to do that? They were sent flying by a punch from a guy who came out of nowhere. While everyone was still in shock, Li Yin had already arrived in front of Xiao Yan. With a cold expression on his face, he struck out both of his palms. A biting cold energy spread out, causing the space around his palms to crack. Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes and was shocked in his heart. They were both emperors, but this guy in front of him was several times stronger than the 2 emperors Li Yan had called over. With a thought, Xiao Yan also struck out both of his palms without hesitation. The Origin Monarch Chi in his body circulated crazily and flowed through his limbs and bones. Wave after wave of energy was emitted from his body and ruthlessly attacked Li Yin. Li Yin was clearly shocked when he sensed the strength that Xiao Yan had unleashed. This guy was merely a monarch spirit, but the Origin Monarch Chi in his body was so powerful. Thinking of this, Li Yin suddenly sneered. How dare a mere monarch spirit intrude into this place? He had no idea how to write the word, death. Buzz. Both of his palms struck the void, and an endless cold energy spread out from his palms. Li Yin's eyes were like a torch, and his eyes were filled with cold energy. Swoosh. Under the gazes of the people below, the 2 palms collided with each other. In an instant, cold air and red flames filled the air. The aftershock of the collision caused the lake below to shatter with a loud bang. It trembled violently, as if it was boiling water. Amidst the rising smoke, 2 figures swiftly landed on the ground. The tip of Xiao Yan's feet had just touched the ground when he violently stomped on the ground. He rushed towards Li Yin. His heart felt a little heavy towards this great figure from the Kangri group. From the palm strike just now, one could tell that this fellow, he should be the strongest person amongst all the emperors he had met so far. Of course, except for Yin Kang. If the latter had reached the level of Li Yin, he would definitely be a monstrous genius who could fight a monarch emperor. As soon as Li Yin landed on the ground, he saw Xiao Yan rushing towards him. He was shocked in his heart. Although he didn't use all of his strength in that strike just now, even an ordinary emperor would be forced to retreat. This puny monarch spirit warrior was actually unharmed. Interesting. Li Yin sneered. This was good as well. He could use this guy to test out the secret arts that he had just cultivated. Swoosh. Li Yin suddenly stretched out both of his arms. Both of his hands were tightly clenched, and his eyes were filled with cold chi. His entire body was filled with an astonishing chi. A powerful Origin Monarch Chi was unleashed from his body, forming a cold chi that caused the surrounding branches to be covered with a layer of ice. The surging waves on the surface of the lake suddenly froze. Ice was formed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Xiao Yan's charging figure suddenly stopped. He looked at Li Yin with some surprise. The latter's skin was now completely white. Cold air continuously gushed out, causing people to feel a chill that came from the bottom of their hearts. Its master's profound ice movement technique. This is a secret arts that is even stronger than a high-grade monarch spell. Any ordinary emperor who touches it will die instantly. This guy is going to die for sure. Seeing Li Yin's change, a few people who were far away helped their companion who was flying backwards and said coldly. Profound ice movement technique was the secret art skill that Li Yin had just mastered in the past few months. It was definitely a killing move of the latter. What a powerful chi! Xiao Yan stopped in his tracks. His brows were knitted tightly. This cold attack made him feel somewhat uncomfortable. But the corner of Xiao Yan's mouth curled up. He lowered his arms and clenched his fists. Strands of crimson gold flames quietly spread out and were about to form monarch flames. Xiao Yan, don't use monarch flames so easily right now. I need to use it. Right at this moment, the apologetic voice of the Xiao Ao suddenly sounded in Xiao Yan's mind. Xiao Yan was stunned when he heard it. The flame that had just emerged from his hand had already dissipated. What's wrong? Xiao Yan's eyes stared at Li Yin. In his heart, he quickly inquired about the Xiao Ao. The Xiao Ao had fused into the monarch flame in his body. This was the first time something like this had happened. When he thought of this, Xiao Yan's heart could not help but skip a beat. It should be because the injuries from the last battle with the Earth-Fire Profound Crystal Beast have yet to recover. I don't know why, but my body suddenly became weak. I am using the monarch flame to protect my mind and check my injuries. The Xiao Ao's voice sounded. Amidst its apology, there was more powerlessness and fatigue. It was incompatible with its previous behavior. Xiao Yan's heart tightened when he heard this. A bad feeling instantly surged into his heart. He immediately nodded his head silently. All right, I'll finish this battle as soon as possible. I'll see how you're going to recover from your injuries then. As he spoke, Xiao Yan raised his head. His eyes focused. The origin monarch chi within his body surged and gathered behind his back. It transformed into numerous sharp auras and a faintly discernible huge white tiger's figure slowly appeared. Although the strongest monarch skill he had at present was the 8-directional thunder ruler, without the combination of the 3000 lightning monarch flame, its power was clearly unable to reach its maximum. As for the white tiger arts, it could unleash its full power, especially the second style, the white tiger sky-shattering strike. Its power was even stronger than the high-grade monarch spell. Good kid, how dare you come here alone? How arrogant! The moment the white tiger took shape behind him, Li Yin's eyes swept across the area. When he saw the huge white tiger behind Xiao Yan, he couldn't help but smile coldly. Cold chi flowed in his smile, as if the air had turned into ice. You have seen my younger brother? How is he? Without waiting for Xiao Yan's reply, Li Yin's tone suddenly turned cold, and his killing intent became stern. If I'm lucky, I should be able to survive. Xiao Yan smiled slightly, and his killing intent slowly rose. These two brothers were really infuriating. Lucky? Li Yin's expression immediately became gloomy when he heard this. His eyes were cold. It was a long while later before he slowly smiled. Good. If you are lucky this time, you will only die. Li Yin rushed forward after his voice sounded. The ground where his body passed had an additional layer of ice. Profound ice movement technique. Profound ice tyrant kill. As his cold voice fell, countless ice blades instantly solidified and turned into ice blades that were dozens of feet in size. Li Yin was in the middle of the ice blades, covered by cold air. His thick black hair was also covered by ice, and his face was cold, like ice that had never melted in 1,000 years. Kai! The ice blades tore through the sky and roared as they approached. Their might was shocking. The surrounding buildings exploded one after another. Stone fragments scattered and surged in all directions. Xiao Yan clenched his fists tightly. Surprise surged into his heart as he watched the ice blades that were rushing over explosively. This Li Yin was indeed worthy of being ranked in the top 200 of the fierce ranking. Even he himself felt an endless amount of pressure from this attack. All right. Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly turned serious. He took a step forward and unleashed his soaring chi. The white tiger behind him let out a long roar towards the sky. A fierce tiger rushed out from the mountain, as if it was going to tear the heaven and earth apart. White tiger sky-shattering strike. Along with a raging roar, the white tiger fearlessly charged towards the ice blade. Its tiger might shook the heaven and earth. The white tiger roared as it charged forward. A bright light flashed in its tiger eyes, as if it was going to tear the heavens and earth apart. Xiao Yan stood in the middle of it, and all the origin monarch chis on his body were surging towards the huge ice blade. Since he couldn't use the monarch flame, Xiao Yan immediately unleashed the strongest attack of the white tiger arts. Swoosh! The ice blade's might was shocking. It collided violently with the roaring white tiger. In an instant, ice and frost splashed in all directions. Like sharp blades, they shot out in all directions, piercing through the huge rock. The tremendous power could be seen from this. Roar! The white tiger faced the sky and let out a long roar. Its body arched. Its huge tiger arm forcefully withstood the ice blade. Its tiger eyes were glowing with a red light. Xiao Yan's expression was solemn. The origin monarch chi on his palm was rotating crazily, consuming the enormous energy of the ice blade. Li Yin furrowed his brows when he saw that his attack had been blocked. Then, he let out a ferocious laugh and let out a furious roar. His sleeves had been torn apart inch by inch, revealing his arms that were covered in ice. Both of his palms were extended forward with a loud bang. A vigorous origin monarch chi surged out. The attack that caused the ice blades to slow down suddenly became stronger, and it hacked open a bottomless crack on the ground. The cold air was horrifying. Xiao Yan's facial expression changed slightly. This force was really powerful. His eyes sparkled. Xiao Yan's arms were trembling slightly. Li Yin was one of the top 200 experts in the fierce ranking. He was an outstanding existence even amongst the emperors. Without the help of the monarch flame, he would be able to defeat Li Yin. With his current strength, it was true that he didn't have the intention to fight Li Yin. With this thought in mind, Xiao Yan's expression became grave. He suddenly bit the tip of his tongue. A golden blood instantly flew out from the tip of his tongue and dripped onto the origin monarch chi in front of him. In an instant, a golden light flashed within the origin monarch chi. The white tiger that was wailing suddenly erupted at this moment. It recovered its strength and once again charged at the ice blade that was attacking him. What a good kid! He forced out all the blood essence in his body. When Li Yin saw this, he instantly sneered. However, he was extremely shocked in his heart. A monarch spirit warrior was actually able to withstand his strongest attack for such a long time. If he were to grow up in the future, how could he? Hong Long, when he thought of this, the corner of Li Yin's mouth revealed a trace of ferociousness. The killing intent in his heart soared once more. All the origin monarch chis in his body were used, causing the ice blades to become even more solid and powerful. Woo! Xiao Yan frowned and clenched his teeth. He suddenly threw his palms forward and the white tiger 9 behind him roared towards the sky. At the same time, Xiao Yan was also sent flying by the huge force. He somersaulted in the air a few times before he landed on the ground. The moment he landed on the ground, Xiao Yan suddenly stretched out his palm. The blue flame ruler had already appeared in his hand. The next moment, Xiao Yan rushed forward again. Li Yin's killing intent had already locked onto him. No matter where he ran to, it was useless. Now, he could only use the white tiger sky-shattering strike to completely shatter Li Yin's killing move. Ridiculous! Li Yin furiously shouted when he saw this. His body moved and he had already rushed out of the ice blade. Light flashed in his hand and a purple-blue metal rod appeared. The icy air on it rotated and carried an incomparable might. The ice blade also shattered the white tiger the moment Li Yin dodged. Following closely behind, Li Yin rushed towards Xiao Yan. Although the energy on it had been reduced by a lot, the power contained within it was still enough to shake one's mind. Bang! The sound of metal colliding suddenly exploded like muffled thunder. Li Yin retreated backwards in disbelief. His palm trembled slightly and the area between his thumb and index finger was split open. Fresh blood flowed out and dyed the metal rod in his hand, giving it an enchanting appearance. Heavenly weapon. Li Yin stared at the blue flame ruler in Xiao Yan's hand. His lips moved and he spat out 2 words with great difficulty. At the same time, he waved his palm and the rapidly charging ice blade slowly stopped. It seemed as if it had a spirit of its own as it stared at Xiao Yan like a tiger eyeing its prey. Who are you? Even in the capital of chaos, there were only a few people who possessed a heavenly weapon. All of these people were renowned figures. The man in front of him was merely a monarch spirit level, but he actually possessed a divine weapon. Li Yin had no choice but to worry about him. If he was a disciple of a major power, trouble would surely come to Kangri Group. As soon as this thought emerged in his mind, Li Yin's eyes suddenly focused. The hesitation in his eyes when he looked at Xiao Yan had turned into a ferocious look. No matter who he was, if he dared to provoke the Kangri Group, he would die for sure. Coincidentally, he also lacked a heavenly weapon as a weapon. Thinking of this, Li Yin no longer hesitated. He waved his palm and the ice blade roared as it rushed out once again, slashing through the space and rushing towards Xiao Yan. After taking Li Yin's attack head-on, the blood and qi in Xiao Yan's body started boiling. This fellow was much stronger than an ordinary emperor. If he didn't use all of his strength, he might really die here today. Xiao Yan's thoughts flashed rapidly when he saw the ice blades surging over. His eyes suddenly landed on the blue flame ruler in his hand. He hesitated for a moment before his expression became firm. He waved his hand and the blue flame ruler was placed horizontally in front of him. The origin monarch qi surged into it. Numerous lightning threads leapt out like circulating lightning dragons. A powerful aura was suddenly emitted. Thunder Dragon Prison Domain. Xiao Yan's eyes focused. He suddenly swung the blue flame ruler. The lightning dragon on the ruler's surface swam and turned into a huge lightning dragon prison. It charged towards Li Yin with lightning-like speed. Heavenly weapon monarch skill? Li Yin's expression changed slightly when he saw the Thunder Dragon Prison Domain. He immediately gritted his teeth and pushed both of his hands forward. The ice blades suddenly exploded, turning into thousands of sharp ice blades that shot towards the Thunder Dragon Prison Domain. Thousands of ice blades entangled with countless lightning dragons, creating endless rumbling sounds in an instant. Boom! An ear-splitting roar suddenly sounded. In the next moment, the tiny lightning dragons and ice blades that filled the sky turned into ashes and disappeared. Xiao Yan's body was suddenly sent flying amidst the rising cold fog. He turned his body with great difficulty in midair. The blue flame ruler in his hand was suddenly inserted into the ground. Only then did he slowly stop. A deep crack was formed on the ground where his feet had swept across. Bang! The instant Xiao Yan's body flew backwards, Li Yin was also thrown backwards in a miserable manner. His feet violently stepped on the huge rock behind him before he finally stopped. How is this possible, my profound ice movement technique? Li Yin's expression was gloomy. Both of his hands trembled slightly, although he had lost quite a lot of energy from the white tiger earlier. Hong Long, Xiao Yan's face was somewhat pale. He held the blue flame ruler and slowly stood up. Suddenly, his expression changed. His sharp eyes swept across a pile of ruins not far away. There was a young man in a white robe standing there. The young man had black hair that draped over his shoulders. His face was like a warm jade. He was handsome and handsome. At this moment, he slowly withdrew his right hand and looked indifferently at Xiao Yan and Li Yin who were confronting each other. Clearly, Li Yin had also noticed this. He looked at the white-robed young man with a gloomy gaze. When he saw the young man's face clearly, his brows suddenly knitted. He gritted his teeth and said, "You are from the Yunluo Academy, Yuan Tianmu." Xiao Yan was also slightly startled when he heard this. He carefully looked at the white-robed young man. He had never heard of this Yuan Tianmu before. Tell me about Li Yin from the Kangri Group, but who is this guy? He is only a monarch spirit, but he is already so powerful. Even I have to use nearly 90% of my strength to separate all of you. The young man in white smiled and spoke in a relaxed tone. Li Yin looked around with an ugly expression on his face. A few of his trusted aides had fallen to the ground, but none of them had noticed him. Thinking of this, Li Yin looked at the former and said coldly, "What are you doing here? I don't think there has been any conflict between the Kangri Group and the Yunluo Academy these days." Xiao Yan looked at the white-robed young man quietly. His heart was slightly stirred. Just by standing in the distance, he was able to forcefully separate himself from Li Yin. If this ability was really possessed by the disciples of the Yunluo Academy. Perhaps, there were only 10 people in the realm and valley. You have said that you have entered the fierce ranking of our academy. Do I need a reason to kill you? Yuan Tianmu smiled lightly and looked coldly at Li Yin. Although I am from realm and valley, I need to kill at least the top 100 to qualify, but the top 100 are too hard to find. I happened to find you when I was passing by. With your profound ice movement technique, you can barely make it into the top 100. So, your head just so happens to be useful to me. Yuan Tianmu's face was full of smiles. He looked at Xiao Yan and slightly cupped his hands. Brother, let me have Li Yin's head. I will definitely compensate you. Quote 2. Upon hearing Yuan Tianmu's arrogant words, Li Yin's face darkened, and his eyes were filled with endless fury. It was said that even Mu Yuyang from the realm and valley of the Yunluo Academy had yet to reach the monarch emperor. Although this Yuan Tianmu had a great reputation, he wasn't as shocking as the former. His strength was only at the sovereign realm, but he was still so arrogant. Xiao Yan looked at Yuan Tianmu in shock when he heard this. Then, he shook his head slowly while Yuan Tianmu was smiling. He said, I'm sorry. I also want to take this guy's head. Yuan Tianmu was stunned when he heard this. Then, he looked at Xiao Yan meaningfully and said with a slight smile on his face. I saw it just now. With your strength, I'm afraid it will be difficult for you to kill him completely. Blue veins popped out on Li Yin's forehead, but he was also a shrewd man. Although he was infuriated by the two men in front of him, he still looked calm on the surface. After listening to Xiao Yan's words, he smiled gently and said, Sure. Since both of them want my head, I'll take it one by one. Who will go first? Although he knew that he was much stronger than Yuan Tianmu and Xiao Yan, he wasn't sure if he could win against the joint attack of these two men. Besides, Yuan Tianmu was also a mighty warrior of the Yunluo Academy's realm and valley. It was torturous to fight such a monstrous genius. After listening to Li Yin's words, Yuan Tianmu chuckled and looked at Xiao Yan slowly. Since this brother insists on going, you can go first. After saying that, a strange smile appeared on his face as he looked at Xiao Yan. His gaze was calm, but it seemed to contain a thought-provoking feeling. When Li Yin heard this, an undetectable cold light flashed across his eyes. As long as Yuan Tianmu didn't interfere, things would be much easier. As for this black-robed young man in front of him, he really didn't put him in his eyes. Thank you for letting me win. Xiao Yan looked at Yuan Tianmu indifferently, the corner of his mouth forming a faint smile. Intentionally or unintentionally, he looked into the distance. He suddenly said in a low voice, the disturbance here seems to be quite big. Someone has come. Brother, you should leave first. Yuan Tianmu's expression changed when he heard this. He turned his head around with a solemn expression. Purple light circulated in his eyes as if his purple eyes were flashing. In an instant, he could clearly see a few powerful auras rising from afar and rushing towards him. They are from the other branches of Kangri Group. It's good that they are here. Let's take care of them together. Yuan Tianmu smiled faintly. Among all these qi, the strongest one was only at the peak of Monarch King. As long as the Monarch Emperor didn't appear, he would be fearless. What a brave man. But I want to remind you that this place is the base camp of Kangri Group. I heard that Xiao Yi from the Yunluo Academy killed a gang member by himself. It seems like this brother Yuan has the same idea. Xiao Yan smiled lightly and said softly. His tone was casual and it wasn't obvious that he was panicking. Yuan Tianmu's originally calm expression finally became a little gloomy after hearing Xiao Yan's words. What kind of joke was this? Back then, Xiao Yi was stronger than him by a few points. He had used all his strength to destroy a sect member ranked 97th. However, the current Kangri Group. The overall strength of the Kangri Group was obviously higher than that of the disciples who were killed by Xiao Yi. With his own strength, if it was Mu Yuyang or Lin Dao, but for him, it was impossible. You bastard. Yuan Tianmu regained his senses and looked at Xiao Yan coldly. After that, he smiled and waved his white robe. His body flashed and appeared beside Xiao Yan. You are forcing me to attack you. Staring at Li Yin who had an ugly expression on his face, Yuan Tianmu looked at Xiao Yan and said in a flat tone. There was no emotion in his voice. Xiao Yan smiled without saying anything. After realizing that Kangri Group had a helper, all of his plans had been messed up. If he wanted to leave smoothly, he would have to rely on Yuan Tianmu's help. Who are you? Yuan Tianmu wasn't in a hurry to attack. He stared coldly at Li Yin and asked Xiao Yan who was standing beside him. Xiao Yan, a student of Yunluo Academy. At this moment, Xiao Yan didn't want to hide anything anymore. After Yuan Tianmu asked, Xiao Yan spoke. Yunluo Academy? Xiao Yan? With your strength, you should be famous for your soaring dragon ranking. Why haven't I heard of it before? Yuan Tianmu couldn't help but be slightly startled when he heard this. There were only a few people in Realm and Valley, although they rarely met. However, he was also sure that this guy wasn't from the realm and valley. Apart from that, there was only the soaring dragon ranking in the inner courtyard. Senior Yuan is busy with things, so he naturally won't notice me. Xiao Yan smiled slightly and gave an ambiguous answer. Hearing the two of them discussing in front of him without any restraint and totally not putting him in their eyes, Li Yin was so angry that he laughed. He put his palms together and an endless stream of cold qi rose from his palms. It contained a great power that was no weaker than any monarch spell. Alright, since you're from the Yunluo Academy, Senior will help you. Yuan Tianmu also laughed after hearing what Xiao Yan said. He took a step forward. His white robe fluttered in the wind, and his slender fingers spread out. Purple qi was surging in his hand. The moment before the surging cold qi rushed towards him, Yuan Tianmu's eyes suddenly focused, and his palms lightly clenched in the air. In an instant, the purple qi in his palm had already rushed out like an astral blade. Wherever the purple qi passed, the space would buzz. It seemed as if it would collapse at any moment. Heavenly purple astral blade. The purple astral blade roared fiercely like a giant purple dragon. The light cut across the space and faced the spreading cold qi. Under Li Yin's cold expression, the purple light broke through the cold qi and struck Li Yin with unstoppable force, sending him into the lake far away, causing a few hundred zhang tall splash. Xiao Yan's heart trembled when he saw Yuan Tianmu's attack. The power of this attack was comparable to the monarch arts. If he didn't use the monarch flame, he was afraid that he wouldn't be a match for Yuan Tianmu. Thinking of this, Xiao Yan lowered his gaze slightly. He didn't know how the Xiaoao was doing, and whether the injuries in his body had been alleviated. As expected of a mighty warrior from the realm and valley. Truly powerful. Xiao Yan raised his head and sighed with emotion. Just like what Zhu Kun had said, everyone in the realm and valley. They were all monstrous geniuses. Li Yin had at least reached the peak of the Emperor realm. Even though he had lost a lot of his strength during the battle, he was still sent flying by Yuan Tianmu with a single strike. This also showed how extraordinary this guy was. Realm and Valley is the most elite of Yunluo Academy after all. Naturally, we can't lose the face of Realm and Valley when dealing with an opponent of this level. Why did Yuan Tianmu smile? Back then, it seemed like Mu Yuyong had sent a monarch emperor expert flying with just a single strike. This had established his supreme reputation, and he didn't know when he would be able to possess that kind of strength. As soon as his voice faded, Yuan Tianmu's figure flashed and appeared on the surface of the lake. The origin monarch Qi suddenly exploded with a cold tone. Surnamed Li, don't play dead for me. Come out quickly, or I will raze this place to the ground. Although the attack just now was extremely ferocious, it was impossible to kill Li Yin with this attack. After all, the latter was an expert who had advanced to the Emperor realm for many years. The ice defense on his body was naturally not to be underestimated. Yuan Tianmu furiously shouted a few times, but the surface of the lake in front of him still slowly calmed down. Li Yin was like a stone sinking into the ocean, and there was no news of him. Boom! All of a sudden, the surface of the water behind Xiao Yan suddenly exploded. A drenched human figure rushed out from the water. He held a short sword in his hand and shot towards Xiao Yan's back. One Li Yin's eyes were as sharp as lightning. The short sword in his hand was engraved with mysterious patterns. A soul-stirring spiritual light spread out in all directions, giving off a shocking aura. Die! In the blink of an eye, a few meters had passed. There was a clear trace of blood at the corner of Li Yin's mouth. His aura had also weakened significantly. Clearly, he had been seriously injured by Yuan Tianmu. However, this attack was as fast as lightning, like a meteor chasing after the moon. His aura soared to the sky. The moment Li Yin jumped out of the water, Xiao Yan sensed something. When he sensed this frightening murderous aura, Xiao Yan made a prompt decision. The origin monarch Qi in his body instantly flowed out at almost the same time. The white tiger had already formed behind him. Following a deafening tiger roar, Xiao Yan's body instantly disappeared from where he stood. White Tiger Spirit Sealing Flash. The first style of the White Tiger arts, the White Tiger Spirit Sealing Flash. Not only was it an offensive type of monarch skill, it could also suddenly increase his speed. With the momentum of a fierce tiger descending the mountain, he could fly far away. Compared to the 9 revolving wind, it was much stronger. Swoosh! The moment Xiao Yan disappeared, Li Yin's short sword struck like a poisonous snake. The short sword sliced through the air, creating a sonic boom. What a fast speed! Yuan Tianmu also sensed it at this moment. When he turned his head around, he saw Xiaoyan's figure suddenly rushing forward and avoiding Li Yin's attack. Who exactly is this fellow? There is absolutely no one in the inner courtyard. This kind of person, this kind of strength could almost be compared to the top 10 of the soaring dragon ranking. It was impossible that he had never heard of it before. Yuan Tianmu faintly looked into the distance. Xiaoyan's figure slowly appeared. The tremendous force that was brought about by his dash exploded with a loud bang, shattering the fake mountain in front of him with his chi. Humph! Being dodged by Xiaoyan in the nick of time, Li Yin's eyes turned gloomy. He forcefully twisted his body in the air and rushed towards the spot where Xiaoyan had appeared. He was filled with killing intent. Yuan Tianmu also sighed when he saw this. He really wanted to see Xiaoyan's strength once again. However, the reinforcements from the other branches were about to arrive. If they were entangled by Li Yin, it would be much more troublesome. Xiaoyan, get out of the way. I'll deal with him. Yuan Tianmu raised his head and coldly shouted. His body flashed and like a white ray of light, he shot towards Li Yin. At the same time, the origin monarch qi in his body surged wildly. A purple qi circulated continuously and his frightening qi became stronger and stronger. Looking at Yuan Tianmu, Xiaoyan suddenly frowned. His feet violently stomped on the ground, and he had already left his original position. In the next moment, a golden spear pierced through the sky and ruthlessly stabbed into the spot where Xiaoyan was standing a few feet into the ground. Where did this arrogant brat come from? How dare he come to the Kangri group and act so impudently? The moment the golden spear entered the ground, a rough voice that was as heavy as muffled thunder sounded out. The origin monarch qi that was rolling over caused everyone to be startled, and they couldn't help but stop. In the next moment, a golden light flashed through the air. In the blink of an eye, it landed on the ground, and a large man with a full beard appeared. The big man had a ferocious expression. On the bald head, there were a few shocking scars on his face. His eyes were filled with a fierce light as he stared at Xiaoyan and Yuan Tianmu. Second leader, you have come out of seclusion? Li Yin was overjoyed when he saw the big man who suddenly appeared, and said respectfully. Li Yin, the large bearded man, glanced at the latter. He then looked at the badly damaged courtyard and said coldly, the sect leader values you so much. What's wrong? Can't even handle two people? Li Yin's face was full of shame. He lowered his head and didn't dare to speak. His eyes were full of resentment towards Xiaoyan and Yuan Tianmu. After scolding Li Yin, the burly man turned to look at Xiaoyan and Yuan Tianmu. When he saw Yuan Tianmu, he couldn't help but snort. I was wondering who was so arrogant. I didn't expect you to be an elite of Yunluo Academy. Yuan Tianmu, you have too much guts. Even Mu Yuyang has to think twice before coming here. Yuan Tianmu's expression turned solemn when he saw the burly man. A trace of fear flashed across his eyes. When he heard what the burly man said, he smiled coldly. It's the second master of Kangri Group, Shen 2. You are one of the top 100 experts in the fierce ranking. What brings you here? He paused for a moment. Yuan Tianmu's expression turned cold. Senior Mu really won't come here. I'm afraid that the entire Kangri Group isn't qualified to enter his eyes. But that's good as well. My mission is to kill all the experts in the top 100 of the fierce ranking. You appeared just in time. After saying that, Yuan Tianmu gritted his teeth and unleashed all of his energy. His strength that was several times stronger than before was displayed without a doubt. Xiaoyan looked at Yuan Tianmu. The latter's strength was estimated to be at the peak of Monarch King, but since Shen 2 could fly with the help of the pair of wings, he was afraid that he had already reached the Monarch Emperor. Even if Yuan Tianmu was a monstrous genius of the realm in Valley, it was estimated that the two of them would have to fight a tough battle. Of course, this also guaranteed that no one else would interfere. With this thought in mind, Xiaoyan suddenly looked at Li Yin. Since this was the case, he could only defeat this guy as soon as possible. He could sense Yuan Tianmu's strength. Li Yin's facial expression changed slightly. This guy's strength wasn't any weaker than his, but he was obviously much younger than him. Although he had heard that the Yunluo Academy's realm in Valley was full of monstrous geniuses, he was still a monstrous genius at this age. This was a huge blow to him. Xiao Yan, I'll leave that Li Yin to you. Let them have a look at the Yunluo Academy's strength. Yuan Tianmu looked at Xiao Yan and suddenly laughed. Then, he pursed his lips and a soft voice sounded in Xiao Yan's ears, that Shen Tu failed when he advanced to the monarch emperor. Although he can use the wings of the sovereign qi to fly, his true strength is far inferior to a monarch emperor. I'll help you after I defeat him. Just hold on for a little longer. After saying that, Yuan Tianmu moved his feet and shot towards Shen Tu like a bolt of lightning. A purple light surged from his palm. In an instant, the wind and the air seemed to have frozen. Arrogant, arrogant. Shen Tu didn't get angry when he heard that. Instead, he laughed. His clothes fluttered in the wind. His feet stomped on the ground, and his fat body nimbly leapt out. Like a huge boulder weighing thousands of kilograms, he rushed out explosively. Xiao Yan frowned slightly when he heard Yuan Tianmu's words. Just as he was deep in thought, Li Yin's eyes swept over like a sharp blade. His body also rushed over explosively. Although he had been violently struck by Yuan Tianmu earlier, his imposing manner did not decrease. As the next generation leader of the Kangri group, he was naturally not weak. Bastard! I will kill you. Li Yin's eyes were currently red. Without Yuan Tianmu's obstruction, Xiao Yan was like an ant that could be easily pinched in his eyes. Although Xiao Yan had received his profound ice movement technique earlier, it was because of Yuan Tianmu's interference. Now that fellow was entangled by the second head, this fellow called Xiao Yan would undoubtedly die. Xiao Yan's expression was solemn as he slowly clenched his fists. Without the monarch flame, his strength had fallen by a large margin. However, Li Yin had also used up a lot of his strength. It could be said that the two of them were currently on the same level. Furthermore, he still had a trump card. Xiao Yan's throat moved when he saw Li Yin charging over. The fire wings pill hidden under his tongue was swallowed. The origin monarch qi in his body rotated. A pair of crimson flame wings suddenly spread apart in front of the stunned eyes of the former. It carried Xiao Yan and soared into the sky. One kai! As the fire wings flapped, Xiao Yan soared into the sky and easily dodged Li Yin's attack. The latter's punch landed on the ground, causing several cracks to appear on the ground. Qi wings? Li Yin lifted his head and looked over. He could not help but be shocked. He carefully sensed Xiao Yan's current strength. The shock between his brows finally disappeared. This fellow's strength was still at the monarch spirit in the end. Shen Tu lifted the golden spear from the ground with one hand and grinned. His ferocious face became even more terrifying. His palm suddenly moved. The golden spear flashed with a bright light, and a continuous stream of origin monarch qis was injected into it. As the golden light circulated, it seemed to transform into a huge golden python. The huge python raised its head to the sky and hissed. Under Shen Tu's cold shout, in an instant, it shot out, exploding the air along its way. Yuan Tianmu was not afraid at all. He pushed out both of his palms. Endless purple origin monarch qis surged out from his palms, turning into two purple spirit birds. They flapped their wings and flew upwards, fighting with the giant golden python. As they flapped their wings, a purple aura filled the air, continuously devouring the giant golden python. Shen Tu, who was controlling the giant golden python, had a change in expression. He looked at the sky. The fire wings on Xiao Yan's back was flapping. He relied on his great advantage to dodge Li Yin's attacks time and time again. Although the latter could use the origin monarch qi to temporarily soar into the sky, it consumed a great amount of origin monarch qi. The battle between the two was clearly disadvantageous to Li Yin. This fellow is not even at the level of an emperor, yet he can fly. Could it be that he has borrowed some kind of treasure? A thought flashed across Shen Tu's mind. He grinned, and an endless amount of hostility shot out from his eyes. He looked at Yuan Tianmu with an even colder gaze. If that's the case, I don't mind letting the Yunluo Academy have one less elite warrior. Speaking of which, Yuan Tianmu's head is worth 300 million Yunluos on the Yunluo's ranking list. If you insist on coming here to die, you will die. Don't blame me. Oh, with just you. Yuan Tianmu was also surprised by Xiao Yan's sudden display of skills. When he heard Shen Tu's words, Yuan Tianmu sneered and stretched out his left hand. Controlling the two purple spirit sparrows, he retracted his right hand. With a slight movement of his 5 fingers, a long spear appeared in his hand. The tip of the spear was spiraling like a dragon. It was engraved with profound patterns and was filled with mysterious power. Swoosh! Yuan Tianmu held the spear in his right hand and the origin monarch chi in his palm rotated. The tip of the spear suddenly buzzed and a faint dragon roar sounded. The entire spear seemed to be alive. Dragon scale tip, dragon's roar. Yuan Tianmu suddenly withdrew his left hand. The 2 purple spirit sparrows that had been fighting with the giant golden python suddenly let out a buzzing sound and exploded. The giant golden python roared in pain, and the golden scales on its body cracked inch by inch. Golden blood scattered in all directions, and black death chi was emitted from the golden blood, as if it could corrode the space. The instant the purple spirit sparrows exploded, Yuan Tianmu suddenly grabbed the spear with both hands. A faintly discernible dragon roar was heard all of a sudden. Purple chi was surging on the tip of the spear, and it was filled with endless evil chi. It surged towards Shen Tu. Kai, Xiao Yan waved the blue flame ruler in his hand, and it easily blocked Li Yin's profound ice attack. Lightning rolled on the blue flame ruler, and it turned into a prison that rushed out with a buzzing sound. Li Yin had already witnessed the power of the Thunder Dragon prison domain. Immediately, his facial expression changed drastically, and he hastily retreated. The Thunder Dragon prison domain brushed past him, and he was sent flying away with a pale face. Xiao Yan's face turned pale when he used the Monarch skill once again. The Thunder Dragon prison domain was a genuine Monarch spell. Although the Monarch skill of a divine weapon rarely consumed origin Monarch chis, it was still a genuine Monarch spell. However, in this short period of time, Xiao Yan had consumed a lot of origin Monarch chis in order to maintain the fire wings on his back. After forcing Li Yin back, Xiao Yan's eyes moved. He looked at Yuan Tianmu and Shen Tu, who were not far away. The battle between Yuan Tianmu and Shen Tu had become even more intense. As the long spear swept across the battlefield, a wave of purple chi reverberated in the air. Shen Tu, who was holding the golden long spear, was also closing in on them. He waved the long spear violently. The golden light kept flashing, resisting the corrosion of the purple chi. Every time the spear and the spear collided, it would bring along a deafening sound of metal colliding. Intense sound waves spread out, causing the huge rocks in the distance to quietly split apart. Looking at the blue flame ruler in his hand, Xiao Yan smiled helplessly. It was because his strength was too weak, and he was unable to unleash the true strength of a heavenly weapon. Otherwise, he could easily defeat Li Yin with just the blue flame ruler alone. Golden python form. It collided violently with Yuan Tianmu. Shen Tu's face darkened. The golden spear in his hand suddenly drew a strange arc in the air. A golden light radiated from the spear and condensed into a huge golden python that was 1,000 feet in size. The scales on the body of the golden python were flashing with a strange spiritual light, as if they were illuminating the heaven and earth. Like a flood dragon, the tail of the python swung lightly and roared as it charged towards Yuan Tianmu. Yuan Tianmu's face was pale. After fighting Shen Tu for a while, he had consumed a lot of his energy. After all, the latter was an expert who had advanced to the Monarch Emperor. Although he had lost, his strength was far beyond that of an ordinary emperor. If he could defeat Li Yin with ease, it would be difficult for him to defeat Shen Tu. Dragon scale tip, dragon roar. Yuan Tianmu's expression changed slightly when he saw the huge golden python covering the sky as it approached. He did not dare to hold back. He suddenly bit the tip of his tongue. At the same time as he spat out his essence blood, the dragon scale tip in his hand surged with purple chi. He unleashed his most powerful attack. Xiao Yan was shocked by the powerful chi emitted by the two of them during the battle. He clicked his tongue and praised in his heart. A battle of this level was indeed incomparably powerful. You still have the mood to look elsewhere? Just as Xiao Yan was slightly stunned, Li Yin once again rushed over. Cold air covered both of his palms, freezing the air. Xiao Yan looked at Li Yin and narrowed his eyes. When he saw the fight between Yuan Tianmu and Shen Tu just now, both of them had unleashed the full power of the spirit weapon. That feeling of being able to use it freely was quietly reverberating in Xiao Yan's mind at this moment. Ever since the blue flame ruler had advanced to the heavenly weapon realm, it seemed like he had not resonated with it for a long time. Xiao Yan clenched the blue flame ruler tightly in his hand. Even though Li Yin had already forced his way in front of him, Xiao Yan still stood there without moving. He carefully felt the trace of feeling that the blue flame ruler had transmitted from his palm. It was as though it had merged into his heart, deep and deep. I seemed to have felt it. The moment Li Yin's palm struck Xiao Yan's chest, Xiao Yan's eyes slightly narrowed and suddenly opened. His originally confused eyes had now regained their clarity. The original him, who was holding the blue flame ruler of a heavenly weapon, had only regarded it as a powerful weapon. The true strength of a heavenly weapon was far from being unleashed. But now, the feeling of flowing water was reverberating in his heart. It was as if the blue flame ruler had been truly grasped by him. The power of a heavenly weapon. Xiao Yan clenched the blue flame ruler tightly with his 5 fingers. His eyes looked at Li Yin in front of him. Suddenly, he laughed. His eyes were filled with energy. After which, he moved his arm gently. The blue flame ruler had already been waved. The wide ruler swept across the space, causing the wind to whistle. Bang! The connection between the blue flame ruler and him was like a layer of paper that had been torn open. The feeling of his soul being connected caused Xiao Yan to feel the rhythm of the blue flame ruler for the first time. It was the rhythm of a weapon. 8-directional thunder ruler. Xiao Yan shouted. For the first time, he did not borrow the strength of the 3000 lightning monarch flame. He relied entirely on the memory function of the blue flame ruler to display it. He waved the huge ruler, and it shook the heavens and the earth.